I went in with high hopes. I wanted to give this a good review. But the fact is, the blushes just aren't good. And the word that keeps coming to mind is juvenile. They feel like kids' blush to me. I finally dove in and got a bunch of products from Rhode. Hailey Bieber's line. I got a smattering. I got 4 different lip liners, 4 different blushes. I wanted to test a variety of colors. I wanted to really get a feel for these formulations and how they wear. Start with the positives, right? Like the packaging is cute. I wish it was actually less plasticky. If this was a little more streamlined, like a Merit blush, I think that would be even better. Like, why do we need this much packaging for something this narrow? Like it could be smaller. That's like really nitpicky, right? In terms of the actual size of the product, you get 0.17 ounces, pretty standard. That's on par with most brands. And these are $24 each. Their price and their sizing is pretty on par with a number of brands you would see at Sephora. Not their most expensive lines, but not probably their cheapest either, but it's right on par. That is where it ends. Because here's the thing. I am highly, highly skeptical of a lot of the skincare claims that makeup companies make. You know, the idea of including peptides or collagen or hyaluronic acid into a blush or into a lip liner feels a little bit gimmicky to me. No, it feels gimmicky to me. The probability of you being able to have any meaningful skincare impact, your ability to absorb those ingredients, is like pretty nil. Second, we're talking about blush here. I don't care, a fly yahoo about skincare and blush. What I want from blush is color payoff and longevity. Those are my 2 priorities, right? And while these colors are all very pretty, I was playing around with it and I was like, why don't I like this? Like the colors are fun, lovely, they look good on my hand. But as I wore them and started blending them out, they all kind of disappeared. And I was like, this is really weird. So I went deep research on the ingredient list here and compared it to some of my all-time favorite blushes. And what I found was that the Rhode formula is pretty interesting. It has water and glycerin in it. They're not the most, like the top of the ingredient list, but to have water in a cream blush is highly unusual, unless it's like a gel formula. That combined with all of the emollients, it's a highly emollient formula. The lack of waxes and the lack of film formers is why this blush disappears so fast. It has no longevity. There are better options out there. There just are. Like, I'm not a kid anymore. I want some real lady blush, all right? I'm not messing around with this kid shit, you know? And that's just what it feels like. And for the price, like if these were $10 a piece, that feels more reasonable. The lip liners, I got 4 different colors. They're okay. They're all right. They also, when I compared these formulas to like a MAC lip liner, which is like, I wouldn't say the best in the world ever, but I think it's pretty standard in terms of like, it does a good job. These also are so emollient and they lack a lot of the ingredients that you need for things to stick around. It has a absolutely ridiculous silicone lip brush. It's supposed to blend, it's supposed to clean up edges. I think it does a terrible job of all of those things, and I would never use this as a lip brush. Silicone makeup application products, generally, I don't find to be very effective. They're nubby, so they're kind of chunky, and you can't get a really fine line. I see nothing special about these. I would never, this is a one, I don't recommend that at all. And then finally, these lip glosses, the peptide lip tints, I straight up didn't like these. I found them to be tacky and sticky, way stickier than I expected. I genuinely thought this was going to be more like a lip oil, thin, it's supposed to be a peptide balm. It is mediocre at best, and the color is like irrelevant. There's not a lot of color payoff in these. That's the other thing. Often with these celebrity lines, they're coasting on the name. They know they can get away with an inferior product. And I know that they probably all want to have the best products out there, but the fact of the matter is that these suck. They just do. So I can't recommend any of the cosmetic products in the Rhode line. I just found it all to be disappointing, especially for the price point. If the prices were cut in half, if she'd done like a drugstore line, then she would have something special here. Maybe. Well, it wouldn't be special. It would just be like acceptable.